Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Osereme, and in today's video, I am going to be taking you guys along the process of beading on this beautiful traditional wedding dress. As you can see, so I'm using broken beads and just basically other red beads that I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely keep on watching. And if you're still yet to subscribe to the channel, hit on the subscribe button and let us get started. Alright guys, so before I decided to film this video, I had already gone really far into the making of this blouse, but I just realized I was spending a lot of time on my um table here, and I just thought I could put on my camera and just let you guys see the process while I'm working on it. Okay, so now these are the materials I am using for the beading of this dress. Now this is a broken bead. I don't know if it's called broken bead, but I just choose to call it broken bead. You can see what they look like here, and then I'm using these flat beads as well. I got a lot of them. I think I got about 20 to 25 strands of this is one strand, so I got a lot of it as well. Okay, and then I got this bead here. This is shiny, so I got a little bit of it just to put in between the beads to make it sparkle. Okay, and then I have this one here. Now, I don't know what these beads are called, honestly. I don't know so much about beads, but I got these ones. And all the beads that got were in the color red. So you can see what I've been able to do with the beads on this particular cup on my corset blouse that I'm making. So now I'm going to start doing the exact same thing on this other cup here. Okay, so I'm going to just show you guys how I'm going about it. So for this beading, I am using a beading needle, a tiny beading needle. Okay, it actually comes in different types, but I'm using a small beading needle, and I'm using my regular thread. Okay, I'm not using a beading thread, I'm using my regular sewing thread here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the broken bead. Now, for just so you know, these beads are actually very expensive. I think the beads alone cost over 35 to 40,000 naira. I bought them here in Abuja in Wuse Market. So this is not something you're going to charge very little for, because the work and the beads themselves are actually quite expensive. All right. So now I'm going to start beading, and the way I'm doing this is I'm just putting all the, I think I have three different types of, or four different types of beads. So I'm just putting them scatteredly. So I'll just pick, I try to pick two of different patterns at the same time, and then I place them together like this. So it's actually very simple, and one thing with this is that it's a repetitive process. That was why I even decided to put on my camera while I was doing this, just so you guys will see what I'm doing. It's just really, really simple. So you just put your beads in and put it two each. So I try to make sure that the broken beads is much on it, because it's supposed to give like that traditional wedding vibe. All right, so I put the smallest beads, which is the red one. I put the one that is sparkling a bit, and then I pick the broken bead. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue like that. I'm going to bring this closer so that you guys will actually see what I'm doing a bit closer.
We will come apart. That's the way it goes. Even though we're apart, heaven only knows. We will come.
Just so you know, this is going to take a very long time, and it's not something you can rush. So now I've brought my camera a bit closer just so you guys will see how I'm picking the beads. All right, so I will pick one broken one and then one small one like this. All right, and then I'm just going to place it somewhere that it has a free space, and then just use it to cover up the fabric, and then do the exact same thing again. So here now I just decided to cover it with a shiny bead, and then I go ahead with this one and then just place it very close to it. It's actually very easy, but it's just that it's going to take a lot of your time. All right, so I'm just going to like continue with the process, pick uh, a normal bead, and then pick a broken one, place it to cover up an area that is open, and then I'm going to just basically continue with the process like that. Now, I don't know if to call this a tutorial or just a bead along with me, because the process is quite easy. It's just going back and forth with the same thing exactly. So this was like about an hour or two later, and this is how far I had gone. All right, So I am just going ahead to continue with the process. As you see, it's just the exact same thing I've been doing all the way around. So one thing I would advise here is that you must charge very well for this. Imagine I told you guys the beads alone cost me almost 40,000 naira. Abi? I think it was a bit more. And then you have to buy the fabric and everything. So you're not going to be charging any nonsense price for something like this. So you have to put everything together to charge very well before you even take this kind of a job. All right. So yeah, I'm going ahead to continue with my beading on the cup, and then before we go ahead and do the body part as well.
That's the way it goes. Even though
Alright guys, so at this point I am finally done with the two cups, and you can see how neat the areas are looking. It's so beautiful. Mind you, the cup area will start looking flat when you're done placing all the beads, because the beads are so heavy, so it's pushing down on the cups, okay? So now, what I'm going ahead to do is for the areas on the body part where I'm going to be placing the other bead design, I am just measuring about 1 inch away from each line, and I'm drawing from the hem of the blouse all the way to the waist. Okay, so I'm just doing like I'm just using my eye to look at this honestly. You can actually measure, but I'm just doing this with my free hand. So I'm just measuring straight lines from the waist, which is where I started from on the side, all the way to the hem of the blouse, and I'm just drawing down straight lines, just like you see me doing like this. So now I am done drawing the lines, and I'm just extending the ones that I feel like they're not as long as the others. All right, so yeah, this is it. This is what I have done here. What I'm going to be doing is now I'm going ahead to fix the beads, and for this particular part I'm going to be using this bead. I don't know what these beads are called, to be very sincere with you guys. I don't know anything about beading. So yeah, this is the bead that I'm going to be using. I told you guys I got a lot of it, and then I'm going to be using the broken beads in between. You guys are going to be seeing how I do that. But for all these lines that I drew right now, I am going to be using these beads. So I'm just going to cut off some of it, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So for this, it's actually very simple. On these particular lines, you're going to be doing only this bead. All right. So this particular bead that is like, I don't know what to call this, but this is the only one I'm going to be using. So I'll just place it one, and then I just go out very close to it as well, so that it stays in place. And then if you like to, you can do some tying and all of that, but trust me, it's not necessary. But if you're sure you will not be able to like have the beads going and tie it up very well at the end, it's better to like do ties in between. But after placing the first one, I just place the second one very close to it, you can see, and then I just come out there again, and then I'm going to place another one, and I'm just going to continue with the process like that. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be adding any other type of bead on each line. It's going to be just this type of bead on these particular lines that I drew. So in the middle of these beads is where I will now have the other broken beads and other beads put together, but this particular one is just going to be straight lines with these beads alone.
we will
All right, I've gotten to the end of this, and I just went ahead to cut off the excess, and then I'll just move on to the other line and then just continue with the exact same thing. So this takes a long time. So if I decide to leave my camera on for as long as it's going to take me to finish this, trust me, it's going to just go off somewhere. All right, so I'm just going to put this off, continue with the process, and then show you guys what it looks like after I was done making this beading on all of the lines that I have drawn out here. So now I'm done with two lines, and I want to show you guys what I'm going to be doing in between each two lines. So in between each two lines, I'm going to be placing the broken beads and every other bead in between. Now I think what I was trying to recreate, actually, I wasn't able to get the exact beads that were used on the dress that the client sent. But of course, I had to just improvise with the beads that I have here. So I'm just going to be placing, I'm using the other three beads in between. All right. So I'll place the broken bead, the shiny one, and then the other red one. I will just place them side by side in a way that it looks nice, as you can see. And I'm just going to continue with the process until I am done with it.
We will go.
So now for this one that is going to be in between two straight ones, note that it's not going to get all the way to the top. It's not going to be the same length as the other two. Okay, so these in betweens where we'll have our broken beads and every other one is not going to be as long as the other ones. So I just decided to stop mine about three beads away from the other ones, so you can see how this is in between. So I'm just going to continue with this for all the other ones, but just using this to like demonstrate what I'm going to be doing. So I've cut it off and you can see what it looks like. So I have the two long beads here, and then I have this one stopping somewhere away. So I'm going to continue with the long beads and then have these broken beads in between, but the broken beads are going to be shorter. All right. So basically just go ahead and do the same thing until I get to the other end. Alright guys, so after I was done with everything, this is what it looks like, and I went ahead to fix this sleeve for the blouse. I'm probably also going to place beads around the sleeve as well, but trust me, it's just the same thing as every other thing that I've been doing. So yeah, that's basically all for the making of this beading work. I hope you were able to get one or two things from it. Thank you so much for watching. I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Bye.